Hi, this is Christine with Coco Daisy, and today I'm going to share with you my setup for January using the January Coco Daisy planner kits. There's a number of different pieces from our kits that I'm using. I'll try to tell you what each kit they come from, so it gives you a good idea of what's what. I wanted to first of all start off and mention a little bit about this theme because I'm absolutely in love with these designs. I love the colors. I think they're, we do a lot of bright colors sometimes, but this was so fun to have these more kind of neutral tones with the beautiful blues. And the map theme to me it's one of my favorites. Not because I'm a huge traveler, but just because I like the art factor of the way that maps look and the fun ways that you can use them in patterns. And also because for me, January is not all about, January is all about starting the new year and the new goals you have and the new adventures that you're looking forward to and the plans that you have for the coming year. And to me, that theme of the maps and the travel and that tie in beautifully with those ideas of what the new year is. So that was kind of the thinking behind putting in the maps and the whole idea of new adventures and embracing new things. That's what that theme is. It's not just a travel theme, which obviously you can totally use that for. I'm saving the Dory booklet for, we're going to have our honeymoon in April, and I'm saving the Dory booklet for that because it will be a travel and it will work perfect for that. But the everyday of a new year of January, I'm loving the whole idea of these maps, and they're so pretty. So I wanted to just start out, I'll talk to you about my planner for this month is a Vanderspec. A Vanderspec planner is one that you custom order, and the beauty of it is that you can pick the outside color of your planner as well as the inside. You customize everything, so even the stitch color, the layout of the pockets. And I always opt for the larger ring size, which works perfect for me, so then my planner is not unable to close because I always have so much in it. So I'm really enjoying this, and I liked just getting the neutral one. Then it'll go with a lot of the kits this month or this year that we're gonna have. And so yeah, so that's my, it looks a little peachy in the light, but it's actually kind of a nude, kind of a natural color, which I really like. And in my pockets, I'll just talk to you a little bit about what I have going on here. I didn't have to do a whole lot of new clips and so on. I had a lot of them that went with this, and so I didn't have to make a whole lot of new ones. There was a couple of them. The buttons that I made, these fun little travel clips, I got those from Mary Kay as a Christmas present, and I just think they're absolutely adorable. So she sent me those, and then you'll see as I go through, there's a few other ones. This one actually came with the kit. It's our map design that we had put into a clip, and then there's also it came with this one, which was in the paperclip form, and then this one, which was in kind of the charm form. You got one of each, and I put mine on my pouch, which also came with the kit. So we had this beautiful big pouch, and I'm just loving these. I'm loving the size of them. I'm loving how much I can fit in them. So it's super pretty. The other thing that Mary Kay sent me, and I just had someone on Instagram ask me to show this close up, so I will do that. In one of our kits, I think it was the classified kit, we had a charm kit. So you could, and that included this flare button. And then there's another one later on, you'll see that I turned into a clip that has Simon on it. But Mary Kay sent me this part of the charm, which is this beautiful neutral and these beautiful sparkly beads. And then what I did is I added this on the end of it. So I ended up with this longer charm. So I love how the two of them worked out together. So pretty. So I got that. So instead of a tassel this month, I have a charm. So, and then one of the other things that I wanted to mention about what I have in my pockets here is this little definition of the word nurture. Now, a lot of you may play along with Allie Edwards and her one little word, which is where you pick a word for the year. You try to have it very present and forefront in your mind, and it's something that you want to kind of work on or embrace, or a change that you want to make. Usually that one little word is something you want to focus on. So I thought what I would do is create a few things, and you'll see them as I go through my pages, that keep that word very much in front of me so that I'm thinking about it and trying to achieve that goal. And my word for the year is nurture, and there's things that I need to take better care of, and that is myself, my health, more time with the boys, and my creativity, time for my creativity, and then of course nurturing my lovely new husband. So that is my word for the year. And what I did is I actually found the definition, and I printed that out. We have free printables on our website, and these were labels. I kept them all together. I cut them out. I got them out of that one. You can see the hole there. I cut them out of that one, and I kept them all together, and I just printed right over the top. I sent it through my printer, and I printed it right over all three of them. I thought that was kind of a neat little way to use that. So that's what I did with that. And then you'll see in a few other spots, there's a few other things that I cut out and used from our printables. So definitely, and those are free. So definitely go online and print out those printables. There's a lot of different fun things you can do with those. So I'm just going to start, and I'm going to page through and just kind of talk about a few of the different things that I did. There's some things that I ran out of time. December was insanely busy, and so there's not as much decoration on my pages, but to me, I thought about this morning trying to add some more decoration, and I thought, no, actually, it's a good way for me to point out and talk about the fact that we have months where we're busier. And the beauty of these pages is they are already decorated. If you don't have the time to decorate them, your month is crazy busy, you don't have the time to set up, don't feel guilty. That's the beauty of these products. It's the beauty of these kits, is that we make them pretty enough where you don't have to decorate them if you don't have the time, or even if you just don't have the desire. If you just have a month where you're just not feeling it, then that's okay. That's the beauty of it. So you'll see some of my pages are decorated, some are not, and that's okay. I'm good with that. I kind of have my planner piece and my core system, and I did that. But there was some other stuff that I did not. So what I usually do is I usually have 2 sets of A5. So I have my first cover page, and then I start all of my dividers, and I use one of the other tab pages as my daily to-do divider. And I added a little Simon on that I had sitting on my desk. So I put him there. I thought he looked cute. He's ready for an adventure. And one of the cards that was in the planner add-on kit. And then this was something new that we did this month that we will be doing more of, because I love them. We had a set of 2 adhesive pockets. This is the smaller one. I'll show you what I did with the larger one in a minute. But all I did is I took one of the 4x6 cards from our pocket scrapbooking kit, and I just punched some holes in that. The adhesive pocket fits perfect in there. I took part of a white tag and then put a few of the Post-it notes that were in the, I think the blue one was in the main planner kit. There's a blue one and a yellow one. I'm trying to remember which was which. But anyway, I just put a few in there so they wouldn't be too bulky. And then that just slips right in that pocket. And then I can use that. And then we had a transparency that was in one of the kits. And it's hard to see. It has a map design on it. And I just thought that was kind of pretty, just to kind of tuck in there a little bit. And then here are the pages that I was talking about that I did not really have a lot of time to decorate. They're the weekly stripe pages. Basically all I did was, there's a few little stickers or die cuts I put on, and then I dated them with the day and date stickers. And then I put a little, I made a little tab out of one of the die cuts from the planner add-on kit, just to denote that this section and then my week on 2 page section. So that's what those are for. But so basically there's just, like I said, there's just a little bit of stamping, this neat coffee ring stain. So it's supposed to mimic if you set your coffee cup down on a piece of paper and it left a coffee ring. And then there's a coffee ring and then a tea ring. So if you had a teacup or a coffee cup. So that's what that is supposed to mimic. And that was in the classified kit. And then I just stamped that in a couple places. I thought that was a fun stamp. We had it a couple of years ago. I brought it back because I thought it worked so well with the kind of the map theme. And then just a little bit of other stamping, just a few little stickers. So not a lot. And then the same thing goes for the weekly spreads. I basically just dated these. I don't use these very often. Sometime when I want to kind of brain dump, if I have a lot going on that week before I do my daily to-dos, I'll just kind of try to map out my week by putting them on here. So that's kind of what I use my week on 2 pages for. And then of course a lot of times I'll use these pages just for writing out notes or lists of things. And that's these are great pages to use for that. So even if you don't necessarily use these pages, always remember that the backs of those pages you can use just for simple list taking. And one of my first bookmarks is one, and I made a shaker card. And I'm gonna get a funny glare from the light. I'm losing light, so I had to turn the overhead light on, so I apologize if there's a little bit of a glare. But I had some of these cute doodlebug sequins in my stash that I thought the colors were perfect. So I made a little shaker card using one of the papers. I cut this out of one of the dashboards, and I believe this was the smaller personal size dashboard. And then the little arrow hardware I had in my stash. And then I used the fuse tool. And then this is the back side, and then there's my word, nurture. So there's one spot where you see it. And I adhered that on top of the transparency, just to kind of give it a little texture. So there's my first little bookmark. And that is to show my goals for this month. So not a lot of goals. And I may write more, but this is also a fun page. I always like to use some alphas, and you can never go wrong with arrows. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can never have arrows work perfect with everything. They're just kind of a fun detail to add. And then I wanted to mention these little guys, I used to show how we had ones that were kind of notched, and I used to show how to turn those into clip toppers by cutting them. And then I had a kind of a little epiphany, and I'm like, well, why don't we just make them that way? So when you get these in your planner add-on die cuts, they look like this. And that is a clip topper. So basically all you need to do is add a little bookmark, or I'm sorry, a paper clip, and put it through and then glue it together around the paper clip. And you end up with this cute little flag clip. Let me get that up there a little closer so you can see it. So that is what those are. So if you're a little mystified when you see those in your planner add-on die cuts and you're like, what is that? That is actually a little flag for your smaller paper clips. They're just kind of fun. What's nice is they're not bulky at all, so you can use them in your pages too, and you won't get a lot of bulk from them. And then go to my monthly spread. I just did some stamping, again with some more arrows, a lot of the fun stickers that were from the kits. This was a clip that I had already in my stash, so that just kind of shows my beginning of my month. And then your plan ahead section. So I don't have a whole lot written down there. We also have now in the store the standard size and the personal size Dory booklets that are a whole year's worth of undated calendars. So if you want to have that in your planner, or just even keep it in your purse or in your pencil pouch, so you can write down birthdays for the whole coming year. If you need to plan ahead more than a month at a time, then you have that too. So that's an option of something that we now have. My little meal plan section, and a lot of you are familiar with this if you watch my videos. I do this every month. So I just took a this was just a dashboard. I think the personal size, I just rounded the corners, added a tab, and then I added one of our cute little note cards from the main planner kit on the front. And I used a little foam adhesive. I don't know if you can see that, how it's raised up a little bit. I just think it's cute. It adds a little dimension. If you're worried about bulk, then obviously you wouldn't use the foam adhesive. And then here's another one of those little flag clips, and these hold my grocery list, and I've already stamped those, so it says groceries on there. And then I take some pages from the personal size inserts and I put them in and use this as my meal planning. So it's just kind of I love the aspect of having different sizes and different layers. So those are in there, and that's for my meal planning. You could always write your grocery list on the back if you wanted to, because you have that great little grid notes section you can put that on. This is something that I've started doing, and I printed, this was one of the printables, and I actually printed it out a little smaller than it's supposed to be. So this isn't actual size. I printed it out a little smaller just because, like I said, I liked the idea of kind of different layers in my planner. And then I ran it back through the printer with what I'm hoping to get to kind of for a daily schedule. Again, if you've watched my videos, you've seen this in for probably the last 3 or 4 months. So if you have a goal, keep trying. Keep trying to meet that goal. I keep tweaking this a little bit and trying to make it doable. So we'll see. It's January, we're gonna try. And then I just adhere that printable to a piece of the pattern paper. And then the daily section, which is where I do most of my planning. So I'm gonna show you that. And then here is what I'm doing as far as my one little word. What I did is I used, there's that weird glare, sorry about that. I used my silhouette to cut out the word, And what I did is I cut it out so there's a mirror image. Of course, it's backwards, but then whichever way it's flipped, you don't see the weird adhesive from the other side. So I just used a piece of heavy clear acetate, and then I just ran the word right there in the middle. There's no other adornment on this page. The word is cut out of a real neutral color pattern paper. So every month I can take this sheet and it goes in my daily section. So every day when I add my bookmark and I write out my daily tasks, this word is right there. And I like that it's right in front of me, reminding me. One of my other bookmarks that I made is some pattern paper. This is from one of the dashboards. I just turned it sideways, added a die cut and one of the cute little puffy stickers. And then on this side, this is a piece from one of the printables, and I raised that up on a little bit of foam adhesive as well, just to kind of give it a little bit of dimension. And then my little calendar that I stamped, I still have to write the dates in there. And then you can see the stamp, the coffee ring stamp that I used again. So that's my other bookmark. And then this was something that was really kind of fun. In the memory keeping, the 12 by 12 memory keeping kit, we designed and included these exclusive envelopes. And I had them designed to look like old vintage envelopes. I thought there was just a lot of different fun uses that you could do. You could use this to just put stickers in, to use in to store in your pencil pouch if you wanted to. I wanted to make something to hold stickers, like kind of like a pocket page like I normally do, but I wanted to use the envelope. So one of the things that I did was I needed to make it a little smaller because it stuck out quite a bit. So what I did is I carefully peeled this up from the adhesive, and then I cut it down and folded it back in. So you can see I made it just a little bit narrower. So you can see here's the original, and then here's mine. And it really didn't take away from the design. I came in from this side. So I just peeled that up very carefully and then folded it in. I took and I cut this off. So I cut the flap off, and then I stuck a piece of heavy cardstock in here, and I found the center mark, made a dot, and then I drew a line coming into that dot so that I'd have a little bit of a V. And then I put a piece of cardstock in there so that I'd have a surface to cut on and wouldn't cut through the back of the envelope. And then I cut along that with an X-Acto knife. And then what that did is that gave me this cute little V, which also makes it a little easier to get the stickers in and out of. And then what I did, just to kind of reinforce it and also to show a little bit of an extra pattern there at the top, I cut a piece of pattern paper that was the same size and slid that in and stuck that to the back of the envelope so you can see that. Then I just punched it where I wanted to. I added some washi tape and a sticker. You can see there's some washi tape on that side as well. Clipped a little picture on, and then it holds my stickers. So that's just kind of a fun way to have my stickers in there, and I use that. You can do this with any envelope. If you have any envelopes that you have in your stash, if you have extra envelopes from greeting cards or anything like that, you can do that. And you can probably even find online free envelope templates that you could use our pattern paper to make an envelope to do that with. So it's a fun way to make a pocket in your planner. And then I'm just gonna go through. This was a clip that I made using a couple of the puffy stickers. Just sandwiched it right between a paper clip. And then my dashboards, I used some of the personal size dashboards as well, just as subdividers. So you can see those. And this was a fun little thing that we added to the dashboards. Arlie had found a map that kind of showcased, had really showcased Michigan. And so I told her, since that's where Cocoa Daisy lives and that's where we ship everything out of, I wanted to have the little "With Love from Michigan" on there. So that's why you see that little "With Love from Michigan," because that's from me to all of you. So just some pattern papers and dashboards. And then here is another one of my bookmarks. This one, this pattern paper was in the coordinating paper add-on. And what I did with this one is I wanted to play around with that stamp a little more too. But and now I'm not gonna remember which kit had it, but we had some airplane confetti. So what I did is I took the little airplane confetti along with, I had some of these in my stash, just little glittery stars. I put those in there, so it's kind of a shaker card with the little airplane confetti. If I can get that, yeah, without that glare on there, you can see them. And then on the back, so what I did is, instead of using the other thing you'll notice, instead of using the fuse tool, I actually stitched the transparency or the overlay onto the paper this time. So rather than using the fuse tool around it, I just stitched it directly on. And it's only one sheet. There's no overlay on the back, because I wanted to reuse, I wanted to find a way to reuse some of the paper bags. So the main memory keeping kit comes in a brown paper bag. And I love that craft color. So what I did, and again, I thought it went well with the whole map theme. I took a piece, I crinkled it up, laid it flat, and then I used the stamp with clear embossing powder. So I stamped on it and used clear embossing powder, so you get kind of this wet effect. Like, I don't know if you can see, if I can get that on the camera. So it looks kind of wet, like you just put your coffee cup down. And then there was a cute little Simon private bunny detective card, note card in the classified kit. And what I did is I cut around him and then I laid him over top, and I think that turned out really cute. So that's another one of my little bookmarks. And then another one of the printables, and again, like I mentioned, I did mine a little smaller. And then, so this is just kind of my to-do, need to get done, but not right away. I used some cute thickers. I like that the bright yellow looks really pretty with this. And just some pattern paper on back. And again, more dashboards with the pattern paper. This is the other clip that I was talking about, the little Simon button. He's our little private bunny. So I turned that one into a clip. And then that's the last one. This is a pen clip, and I think I've shown this before. This is a pen clip that I got this from Anthropology, I believe. So that is all of my pages. Oh, one of the things I wanted to mention too that I did that was a little different this month for stamping my dates on the daily pages, I dug in my stash and I found some of my wooden handle stamps. I just thought they were kind of fun and a little vintage looking, and I thought they went really cute with my with the map theme. So I used those as well. All right, now I want to show you, I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to show you a fun pocket that I made for my Dory booklet. So I'm going to show you how to make that as well. So one of the things that I wanted to show you is I normally I use just my Dory booklet as kind of notes, or I throw it in my purse for lists and so on. I don't necessarily plan with a Dory booklet, but I'm just so enamored of this month's designs, and it's going to work perfectly. I wanted to get this set up for when we take our honeymoon. I wanted something small that I could take with me and kind of do an actual real kind of traveler's little notebook, and it's going to be perfect for that. So I wanted to show you, as I mentioned, this is not my normal way of planning, so it's very simple, but there's a little pocket that I created in here that I wanted to show you how to do. So this was the other little clip that came in the main planner kit, and I put that on there. This is a Foxy Fix, and I'm not gonna say I've ordered it so long ago I don't remember what kind it is. Those of you who are big Foxy Fix fans probably know, but I don't want to say something wrong, so I'll try and post that in the comments and tell you exactly which kind it is. But I liked the neutral color. It'll go with anything. So what I have in here, I just tucked in my little Simon note card and from the main planner kit, and then a little one of the tags that we had in our memory keeping kits in there. But so what I have, I created this fun little pocket that wraps around my Dory booklet, and it's got my Post-it notes, it's got my little flag sticky notepads, it's got some stickers, and it's using that other adhesive pocket. And then on this side I can keep my little notepad in there. And then here is the undated standard size Dory booklet. So if you're going to do some planning ahead, this is a good little thing to kind of keep in your stash, because so that's what I have there. And then I have the actual January booklet that I'm going to use. And what I'll do is just real simply, I'll just cover this part up with a note card or a piece of patterned paper, or maybe even just a picture. Would be really fun, because I'm going to use it kind of for memory keeping of our honeymoon. So I'll probably just cover that up, and then everything else is undated, so it's going to work perfect. And then this is just a larger grid page booklet that I keep in here. So I wanted to show you how to make this little pocket. So basically all you need is a 12 by 12 sheet of patterned paper. Any pattern paper that you want. I went with one that was a real neutral color. So this is not going to all fit in frame, but we'll get it. Let's see what we can do. So I just picked this piece of paper. I just thought it was nice and neutral. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off that bottom strip first. And then what I did is I measured, I needed to wrap around the standard Dory. Of course, you're going to measure whatever size Dory booklet you're using, but for the standard Dory, I measured about 9 3/4 is what I need. So I'm going to trim off the extra. So you end up with this. Then what you do is, second, I don't want that falling on the floor. What I did is then 8 inches, I measured up 4 inches from the bottom. So you can see my little tick mark. I measured up 4 inches from the bottom. And you fold that up right like that. And I like to fold it both ways just to get a good, nice, clean, flat cut. Okay, so you fold up 4 inches, then you fold it straight in half. like to use a bone folder. It gives a good, nice crease. And our patterned papers are such a nice heavy weight that they work perfect for stuff like this. Okay, so then, now what you're gonna notice is you have a great pocket, but what happens because of all of this bulk where this middle part is, you're gonna wanna cut that out a little bit so that it lays nice and flat, because you can see how it's kind of wrinkling funny. So what I do is I measured in 3 1/4. So you can see, I'm gonna show you on this one. So from the side, I measured in 3 1/4. And then you make a mark. And then you're gonna wanna do that from both sides. And you're gonna wanna do it from the top. So there's 3 1/4. And then there's 3 1/4. And then what you do is you're gonna take your mark here and you're gonna go right down and draw a line. And I would come in just a little bit. Don't go right to this fold. I would go in, I would go out just a little bit. So, and then draw a line like that. And then you're gonna do the same thing from the other side. Like that. Then all you do is just, if you want to be super straight, you can use a knife and a ruler. I'm just going to use scissors to show you. And just cut right along that line. And then you're going to want to cut that little piece right off. Okay. So now what you have when you fold that, look at how nice that lays. It lays nice and flat. And you also then don't have to worry about when you put the elastic bands through that it's gonna get in the way. So obviously you'd erase your pencil lines. And then what I did is I stitched the edges of mine on each side, so you can see that I stitched those. If you want to use washi tape, you can do that. If you want to use a strong adhesive, you can do that, but you only need to do these outside edges. The inside you don't have to do. Now, you can fold it like this and not have and have the pockets on the outside of the little envelope, or you can have them on the inside. I chose to have them on the inside because then what I did is the outside of the front of it here, I used that adhesive pocket. So it actually gives me then 3 pockets. And what if you did not get the planner add-on with the adhesive pockets and you're kind of bummed and you want to have more pockets on your little divider, you could always cut this type of shape. You could even just trace one of these. So if you traced one of these on another sheet of paper, what you could do is you could sew that down or adhere that down and have pockets on the outside as well. But it's a super simple way of doing that. And I rounded the corners on the top there and gives you a great little pocket. Then all you do is just slip it through your little band and you have a great little pocket. So that is that, which I thought was a lot of fun. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you, again, talking about the whole theme and how don't think of it as just travel theme. There's so much more that you could use these kits for. And I really wanted to start a mini album of our wedding pictures. And I had this extra planner, it doesn't have as wide a rings as I'm using, and rather than give it away or list it for sale or let it collect dust, I thought, why not use it as to hold a mini album? So it's kind of fun to use a planner as a mini album. So obviously I've just started, but I wanted to share with you a few of my pages. So I'll decorate this side with some items once I get done. But so I've got a few pages done, and I wanted to share those. This was our special pen gem that we had done for the wedding. So I've got that in here. And then, so to me, as I mentioned, that theme is not just travel. I mean, starting a new, I thought it was absolutely perfect for wedding pictures, because starting your life with someone is a big adventure. And I thought that worked so well. And so you can see some layers here. I did a little bit of paint splatter. There's a little tag. And then through what I'll carry throughout the pages are these little butterflies that I punched out of the map paper. I thought they were delicate, which works perfect for a wedding. Also, he gives me butterflies, so I thought that was also perfect for in the wedding album. So there's just kind of some layering, little clothespin, some stamping. So that's the first page. And here you can see that's kind of that same technique like I used for the back of that bookmark, where we had a map stamp a couple of years ago, and I stamped that on the paper bag and then used the clear embossing powder again, and I thought it was really pretty. And I did the little heart with the the here tag showing that it's pointing at Michigan, which is where we got married. So that was just kind of a fun way to add some texture and to recycle one of the brown paper bags. And then, like when I do all mini albums, I absolutely love having lots of different size pages. I think I love the layers, I love the interest. So this is just a picture of my honey and by his car waiting for me I'm trying to do the pages kind of in chronological order. So it's him waiting for me to get ready. And then you can see him, that's his baby. That's his 59 Caddy. And we got it ready and brought it out to Grand Haven, where we got married on the beach for the wedding. So that was a huge deal. He's been waiting years and years and years to get that car. So it was finally ready and we brought it out. So that's him standing there patiently waiting for me. And then this shows a picture of my mom and my best friend helping me get ready. And again, so you can see the little butterflies and the whole idea of adventure. And, even the pattern paper I thought just goes so perfect. There's parts of it that says life is a journey, not a destination. And it says what fills the eyes, fills the heart. I mean, I think you can make it go with so many different themes in your life. And then the back then is another picture of my mom helping me get ready, and then a little bit of journaling, and again with the butterflies. So there's a continuing theme you'll see through this mini album, and I'll share it more as I go along and find the time to add more. There'll be a lot of tags, there'll be layering, and then there'll be butterflies, and then the arrow stamping will be throughout. So those are the first few pages that I've gotten done, and I'm excited about all of the ways of using this theme and these colors and these patterns. So that is it for today. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll try to answer them as best and as quick as I can. Sometimes it's a few weeks later. I apologize for that, but I'll get to them as quick as I can. And again, thank you all very much for being a part of Cocoa Daisy and letting me share all of this with you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.